Good morning and welcome in on this Friday morning. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK and come on live on this Friday morning to do some crafting with you. As always, it's lovely to be here and this is a bit of an exciting week really in the world of a Stampin' Up demonstrator, because all demonstrators were able to access the PDF of the new annual catalogue that will be launching to customers in May. So we got to see that this week. So we've seen some of the new things that are coming and some new in colours and all of those sorts of things. Not going to share any of that with you now, and that's for weeks to come. But obviously at the same time that we find out what we are going to be saying hello to, we also find out what we are going to be saying goodbye to, and you can access all the retired stuff, the last chance bits and pieces on my online store. I will put some links up when I edit this video, when I go to post it. So if you need to find some links to that, they will be there, and I'll also put up the links to a PDF where they're all listed, if that helps. And the way that the PDF does help actually is if you're going to do like I've done and go through your catalogue and put sort of highlights of everything that we're saying goodbye to, and so all that yellow highlighting in here is things that we're saying goodbye to. There's quite a lot that isn't highlighted, so there's lots of things that are carrying over, but inevitably with every new catalogue, along with the excitement of all the things we're saying hello to, there is also that tinge of sadness at the things that we're saying goodbye to. And that does mean that they are now on last chance. So if these things that are going are on your wish list, because obviously there's no reason that come the 12th of May, if you want to make a card with something that's retired, absolutely you can. You can use them for as long as they keep on going, which will be a good many years. But if they're on your wish list, then you need to ensure you get them, and you get them sooner rather than later, because now once they've gone onto that list, it will be while stocks last. Once they have gone, they will be gone. There will be no more reruns. It will be goodbye, and they will then be sitting on retired shelves and just be fond memories that we have of catalogues gone by. So I thought we would today, and perhaps for the next couple of sessions, have a little look at some things that we are going to be saying goodbye to sort of remember fond memories, and to ensure that if they're on your list, that you dash off to your shop, whether it's my online store, whether you're a demonstrator or shop elsewhere, that you dash off and get them as soon as, because we don't want to be missing out on the opportunity. Now I've got three stamp sets, but I've got two sets that are going to be retiring. One of them is the Rooted in Nature set. So these are both tree sets. One is the Rooted in Nature set. So we are going to be saying goodbye to Rooted in Nature and the trees and things that go with it. I've not dug out the dies. Let's find those. She says. So these are the Rooted in Nature dies. And was there dies with winter? Or am I looking for something that doesn't exist? Yeah, wood dies. Oh, so where are they? That's very odd. The wood dies have gone on walkabouts. In the wood dies, that's why. In the wood dies. It's because I'm looking under W and they're there under I. So there we are. So the stamp sets and the dies are going to be retiring. It could be that there'll be new tree things in the new catalogue. Who knows? But these ones we're going to be saying goodbye to. So I thought we'd have a bit of a last play with these today because they're just such lovely stamp sets, and it's quite sad. It's always sad when we have to see what we're going to say goodbye to. So we shall be sad to say goodbye to Rooted in Nature and to Winter Woods. So let's have a final hurrah with them before they go. So what shall we play? Now the nice thing about these, obviously Winter Woods is, as the name would suggest, really quite wintry, and you know, it's great for those Christmas cards and things. Rooted in Nature, you've got sort of leaves and trees and all sorts of things going on there, and this lovely tree trunk just here. These big greetings, I've used those a lot. Be strong, be happy, be you. That one's been really well used. So there's lots there. Morning M, there's lots there that we have enjoyed playing with. So let's have a final play. Let me find. It's a good job you can't see beyond the little square that you can see because everything else is in chaos. I'm going to take a little piece of Whisper White card and I'm going to cut it to 9.5 by 13.9, so that's sort of like a second mat down. And I'm going to take these skeleton leaves. We have skeleton leaves in with the dies. This is it's a really lovely stamp and die set because you've obviously got the dies that die cut your stamped images, but you've also got these ones that will add some sort of textured detail, some embossing to your dies as well. So there's to your images as well. So they're really lovely. Let's have that one on there, and that one on there. And I'm going to go with, I'm going to have some Pepper Pizzazz, and let's have some Blushing Bride, and So Saffron. Oh, now I've had these so long. Morning, Michelle, lovely to see you. Right, so we've got some Pear Pizzazz ink here with this skeleton leaf. Now when I first started crafting 100 years ago, card making 100 years ago, or so it feels some days, skeleton leaves were all a real big thing. I had loads of little skeleton leaves that we'd add into projects and things. They were like an embellishment of choice back in the day. In fact, I don't think it's been all of that long, probably since I've cleared them out and gone, why am I keeping these? Let's get my stamping mist and give this a bit of a swish. And then we'll clean up that stamp. I'm going to come in with some Blushing Bride. So obviously these stamps look really lovely in autumny colours, but we're not in autumn. Let's come in with some spring colours. stamping them so they're just peeping in over the edge. That one down there as well. I'm actually going to grab my yellow blending brush, I think. Let's pick up some ink, dab it off a bit. Let's come in around this edge. With some yellow. Just twirling it round one way and then the other. To bring that yellow in a bit further actually. A bit more down on this bottom corner. Just having brought that yellow in a bit further, I'm going to grab, I'm not going to go that pink, but that's just my pink brush. I'm going to grab some Blushing Bride. And just come in around the edge with that. Morning, Lucy. So there we have our So Saffron Blushing Bride and Pear Pizzazz leaves. That one didn't come out quite brilliantly, but I'm sure that will be a good place to put a greeting, and if need be I can always turn it round. We've come in with some yellow, so saffron with our blending brush, and then we're just gone in right round the edge with our Blushing Bride. Just have a dig about, because I think we'll have a mat underneath that of Pear Pizzazz. So I'm going to cut that to 14.4 by 10, so whatever your first size mats are. Like that. Let's just make ourselves a white card base like that. just looking along my twines and things. I've got some linen thread just there that we will use in a second. Let's come back to our greetings. So as I said at the beginning, I've used these a lot. Let's go with thinking of you, I think. And something else that is retiring that I'm really quite sad about is the nested labels. Quite a few of the nested stitched shapes and things are going. So I am going to cut the larger one slap bang out the middle of that mat, because we don't want to waste card, and a smaller one from basic white. Let's pop those back on there. Let's take this one. Let's take that one. I'm going to take my Stamparatus, because I would like that to be a really nice solid black thinking of you on there, and I want it one end let's line that up so that that's across that bottom, and that point's just there. We'll have that there. Let's anchor down our label. Let's pick up our stamp now, because that's got the label on, and it's not a cling label, it's an old style label that doesn't want to pick up very well there. I'm going to just pop a bit of stamping seal on the back of it just to pick it up. Thank you. Okay, let's take some stays on, and we'll ink this up. As always, probably when we're doing it, because we want to make sure that we get it really black, so we've gone to all of the effort of making sure that we've anchored everything down so that we can go in again. It'll probably come out perfectly first time. Not bad, but I think I do want to go in just a smidge darker. That's better. Let's put our lid back on our Stays On ink. You should always put them on straight away. Don't want to leave it to evaporate. Right, so I'm going to take this first and attach it to here. together in the trimmer and trim them off together. That will sit on there. And let's just come around the edge of this one. That's going to sit on our mat that we cut our hole out of the middle. But no one, only we will know once the card is all together. And then we can add some tape to this, or glue, or whatever it is that you fancy. Now, if you're going down the one little thing, if you're going down the retiring list for the catalogue and you see tear and tape and think, oh no, it is just that it's been reconfigured. So there will be tear and tape in the new catalogue. It's just that in some way, and I don't know in what way, it will be slightly different than the tear and tape that's in the current catalogue. So whether it's just different packaging, whether they've gone with a different manufacturer, I don't know. We wait to see. But it's one of those things, you see that on the retiring list and you go, what? All is well. I'm going to take some linen thread and I'm going to do a bit of a double bow. So I've folded that over so that I've got a double width. And then we will just, thank you Lucy, just tweak that. Got a bit of a double leaf going on. One of the other things that's going to be retiring is these wooden leaves. I think we'll add a couple of those in, shall we? We'll start saying goodbye to those as well. Before you all get too depressed, let me just say there are some really lovely things coming. Though we're sad to see you go, doesn't last too long when we start getting excited about. We're really, really pleased you're coming. Yes, these have been two really lovely ones, haven't they, Jackie? And you know, they can continue to sit on your shelf and continue to be really lovely stamp sets. So if you haven't got them and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'd really like that stamp set, then make sure you get them in your basket now. So there we are. There's one with the Rooted in Nature. So we didn't use the dies on that one. We've just used those skeleton leaves and made it in them. So a pretty pastel, almost spring-like colours. But that would be quite a nice one for someone who's not very well, had something, you know, could even use it possibly as a sympathy card, couldn't you? You could change up the colours of these if you wanted to. So thinking of you is such a fabulous sentiment. As is you are wonderful, and the be strong, be happy, be you. We've just, as I said, used that a lot. Let's have a little look at the Winter Woods. So this is another stamp set that's now on the retiring list. It's now get it while you can, because if you don't get it now, it'll be gone and you won't be able to. This one came out with Christmas in mind. You've got this thinking of you this season stamp on there, but that's not to say that it has to be used for wintry, sort of, it's called Wintry Woods, but it doesn't have to be wintry projects. This little pine cone here is really lovely. This little pine bough, so useful. You've got your little bit here that could be mud underneath your trees, or it could be snow. You could make that white embossed to have some snow underneath your trees. You've got this sort of little bit of shading on here, which sort of makes it really easy to make that frosty and white. This one here is really interesting. That's nice for some backgrounds, but I think we'll go with these. And we'll go with that one. Let's see. Let's stick with our idea of making our trees spring-like. Let's take a little bit of, let's go mint macaron. And right, so this piece of mint macaron is 14.4 by 10, so sort of your first matte size. Take some mint macaron ink and a block. Again, these stamps were obviously pre-cling stamps because I haven't got labels on the back of these, and I didn't used to put my labels on before they were cling ones, for the very reason that I had to put some sticky on the back of that one to sit on the Stamparatus. They didn't stick very well. Right, I'm coming across the back of this card with this stamps, just to give a bit of a fun background. Now I've got it this way at the moment just to stamp it. I will turn it round. Now because that is going off the edge, that end, I'm just going to, oh no, didn't quite bring it in. Bring it in on that edge too. So just all of that, those trunks in the background, just give it a really, a little fun little background there. So that's that one. I'm going to take these trees here. Now the dies and things you get with this particular one, you've got a wavy line, so that if you want like a snowy bottom to your card, you've got that. You've got your big die that cuts out your tree stamped image, but then you've got this one that cuts out trees that sort of lift up. You've got these two bare branches, if you like, just there. You've got these that cut out your little pine cones and your pine boughs, and then you've got this here, which is just like a bit of greenery. You could use that for mistletoe or whatever sort of greenery you want. So really nice die set. That tree, that 3D tree, is just beautiful. But we're going to use this tree. We won't use that stamp set, that block. Oh, that block. I'll come in with this one, and then it's a bit big really. Let's just measure how tall they are. 8 centimetres. That might come in. No. Got that at 8.5 at the minute. I might trim it down in a minute. We'll see how we go with these, and I think we will come in with some soft suede. Oh, got a blob. We'll sort something out with that in a minute. I'm going to grab my Suttles Daubers. Daubers are staying. They're not going anywhere. You may have seen we'll go pear pizzazz actually. I think I'll stick with the colours that we had before. You may have seen that the sponge brayers and the sponges are now on the retiring list, but I think with our blending brushes they have become pretty well obsolete. So I'm going to take my sponge dauber and I'm going to go back in with my So Saffron and Pear Pizzazz and Blushing Bride. And let's add in, back with my So Saffron, but I'm going to blob it off first. It's a bit heavy first time round. And let's have some spring blossomy trees. Let's pop the lids on those for a minute. And to trim this down a bit more, now that we've got our stamped image in place. And I'm just looking to see my blue blending brush seems to have gone walkabouts. Here we are. Let's come in with some balmy blue. Hi Jane. Excellent. And let's bring some blue sky. Nothing but blue sky. I think I am going to be addicted to blending brushes from now. No, I promise we won't do blending brushes on everything. I'm going to come across the bottom here between the trees. A bit of blue. And let's come in with our soft suede. And we'll just add in a bit of sort of groundy. So that could be spring, that could be autumn, couldn't it? Very easily. Very similar sort of thing. Now, where I've got a blob there, but we will work on that in just a moment. Let's have our trees. Let's come in with words are never enough. And I think I'll grab some soft suede actually. And we'll have a long block. Pick up our words are never enough. It's another one that's had sticker put on the back and now doesn't want to stick. Let's just put on a little dabble of tape. And I think we'll have that in, let's come for mint macaron, couldn't find it. I'm going to stamp that again because it's as if the top of the word has not come out. Words are never enough. I'm going to take a little bit of take a bit of that. Take a slither. Snip a smidge off the end of there. Right, let's put this together. Now this is obviously a bit of mint macaron that I've used in a previous life. And we'll come on with this one. Let's stick that on there. And then let's take a bit of the mint macaron ribbon to go underneath. I want it to go quite that far along. About there, I think. Yeah. Trim that off just there. Then I think we'll have a dig about and see if we can't find a few dimensionals to go under the bottom of that. One, two, three, four. We'll lift that so that the ribbon's poking underneath as well as to the side. Just going to die cut a little. Let's see what these leaves look like, whether that's going to add to our Right, so I'm going to put a dimensional on the end of this leaf, and I think we'll have one on the top and one here, and perhaps we'll go one here for good measure. And have that coming down there like that. And let's come back to these little wooden embellishments. I'm going to have a few of those. And do you know? No, I don't think we will. We won't have those. Take a few of these glimmery dots instead. Obviously, I'd need to go on and put an insert in the middle of there, because you're not going to be able to write on soft suede card, so you'll need a bit of an insert, and perhaps just stamp the top of the trees again on the inside. Again, that would be really a good one for a sympathy card. Really nice sort of soft shades. So there's 2 of the stamp sets that we are going to be saying goodbye to, as we say goodbye to annual catalogue 2020 to 2021 and get ready to say hello to catalogue 2021-2022. So both of the stamp sets and the die sets that go with them, they are in that retiring list. So if they are something, if these projects made you go, I really want those, then you need to really get them in your basket straight away. So thank you for joining me this morning, and it's been lovely to have you here, and I will be back with you all on Monday.